I created Minecraft World, a Minecraft world where I, along with a team of 20 players, can implement the biggest projects in all of Minecraft. We've fulfilled our dream of the largest survival base in all of Minecraft, we've become the richest players in all of Minecraft, and today we're on the verge of possibly our biggest project ever, building a gigantic city. But for more understanding, let's start from the very beginning. When we were working on our 1,000 by 1,000 hole a few months ago, I had a plan for this base. In addition to the biome ring around the hole and the huge building in the middle, something much larger was to be built here. An entire city on the inside of our base. Hundreds to thousands of houses with incredible detail and facilities where you could almost get lost, made up of millions of blocks. For me, it was all just an idea back then, but today I'm standing in front of this colossal construction project. So let's finally build this city. Hundreds of hours of work have gone into this video, and you can watch us work on this special construction project for months. From the grind of collecting millions of blocks to the craziest farms we had to build to the final construction of the city, it's all in this one video. So please leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and have fun with the city around our mega base. Building a city in Minecraft is a little different than all the other projects we've done so far. Here, you can't just take a simple idea and implement it on a grand scale. A city becomes truly impressive primarily through its diversity and attention to detail, and that's also why this is so complex. We'll be fully decorating every single house that comes into our city, and we'll need hundreds of different blocks for that. For comparison, our building in the middle currently has 6 different blocks. We'll also be building each house with pre-decorated furnishings, so we won't have to worry about that in the future. For a project of this capacity with seemingly endless things to take care of, I suggest dividing everything into 5 phases. Phase 1, the basic structure of the city. We'll lay out the streets, where will all the houses be located and how will they be arranged. Phase 2, we'll design the entire houses in our city, determining which blocks we need and what everything will look like in detail. Phase 3, the build of numerous farms, and we'll take care of all the blocks we need to build the city. Phase 4, we build the city with all the previously designed houses and the millions of farmed blocks. And Phase 5, we take care of all the roads and paths and other things that will be added to the city, thus achieving the final product, a completely finished gigantic Minecraft city that we never have to touch again. You might be wondering what this Blackstone area we've been building all this time is for. It'll cover the entire bedrock, making it easier to build a city a bit higher up, while still leaving room underneath for things like basements, sewers, or a subway. Incidentally, we still had the 500,000 Blackstone for this area left over from the building in the middle, because we built a rather overpowered bartering farm for it where a few hundred piglins trade quite a bit of Blackstone per hour. And after we used up all our remaining Blackstone within 2 days, nothing stood in the way of building the city. Finished! All the Blackstone is in place. It only took over 10 hours. 500,000 Blackstone, 500,000 Blackstone, just for a simple layer on the ground on which we'll now build the entire city. There's also going to be a proper flooring here, so this isn't the finished city floor. Roads and stuff are still coming. This can go. So I think things definitely look completely different here now, bro. You can really imagine what all the houses and things are going to look like. It's going to be epic, and this modest Blackstone area wasn't even 0.5% of what still lies ahead. But let's continue with Phase 1 and take care of the basic structure of the city. And before we just start building any houses or roads, we first need a rough basic structure, which every city has, as seen from above. So where the entire road network runs, in which areas all the houses are going to be, and so on. We did that with the biome at the beginning too, and now we're doing something similar for the city. For this, I created a rough structure for the city a few days ago in a single player using World Edit. We now need to build these quartz markers onto the large Blackstone area on our SMP. And I want to check if we still got some smooth quartz real quick. No. Okay, we don't have anything left here. Then let's fly to the bartering farm for a minute, because, for those who don't know, we have a farm with lots and lots of piglins in it, and there, piglins automatically trade nether quartz for us. So, here, this thing, and here we have our bartering farm. Oh yeah, here's a little more. And now that we've dealt with the nether quartz and turned it into the smooth quartz blocks using our large auto smelter, we can start right away with the markers. To avoid making any mistakes and to build exactly the same markers as I did in the single player with commands, we use the Light Medica mod, which lets you scan what you've built and then display kind of a hologram showing exactly where each block needs to go. we are done. This is the basic structure of the city. 20,000 quartz blocks just for these few outlines. Looks pretty awesome, doesn't it? This will give the base another huge upgrade. We'll be building the city in here, so you can already definitely imagine it being very, very, very big. And from above, it might not look like much. You can't really grasp the size, but look at it. This right here is a city district where I'm at right now. And around our city, we have 2 rings where all the houses will be fit later. So many, many, many small houses will fit into one of these sections. And right here, we have a larger street that runs in a huge circle right around the base. That's this right here. And there's a lot of branches to the left and right. And the outer ring is also a bit higher. It's like 10 blocks further up. So these are just the lines right now. We'll then pull them down into solid walls and so on. But that's basically it. I think it looks pretty cool and it fits the base pretty well. We also added these blue markers, which will later divide the entire city into 8 areas. But we'll get back to that a little later. Now that the basic structure of the city is in place, we can move on to phase 2 and for the first time start working on the houses. This step is the most important of the entire project as we now determine what the houses we'll later build in our city will look like. We won't be building everything directly on our SMP server. Instead, we'll pre-design the houses in a separate world and put together a large section of houses there. We can then pick and choose from the houses there later when building in survival, and with the same mod we used for the basic structure, recreate them one-to-one. To design the houses, we first created a large area where we'll now collect ideas for the first and therefore most important house. The requirements are a house that matches the building in the middle, a high level of detail and amenities, and the dimensions of 10 by 10 blocks. Once the first 10 by 10 house is done, we'll build 3 more houses from it measuring 15 by 15, 20 by 20, and 30 by 30 blocks. The next step is to build further variants of each of the 4 different sizes, thus gradually assembling a gigantic range of houses. And, well, it's not at all that easy to build a house that will serve as the greenstone for an entire city. After all, it almost took us 2 days just to build the very first 10 by 10 house. Okay, we should be done with that. This is the first house. Alright, so out of this house, we need to create the 4 other variants. Now, we at least have something to work with. And hours passed as we built the 3 larger houses, which really wasn't easy as each version became increasingly time-consuming with increasing size but maintaining the same level of detail. At this point, we were still wondering if this was really the best way to build a city, because we already spent around 30 hours building houses in this world. But after a few days, the 4 base houses were finally up and running. We are finished. 30 hours went into these houses, bro. We have the 10 by 10 house, the 15 by 15 house, the 20 by 20 house, and 30 by 30 house. These houses behind me are the 4 basic houses. Of course, they're not enough to build a complete city. We won't keep using these 4 houses over and over again. That would look strange. We need to focus on making more of these houses. It took us 30 hours to build these 4, and out of these 4 houses, we will now build a total of 60 variations. 56 more boxes await. Those are going to be the houses we'll be using over and over and over again in the city. So, we have a lot of work ahead of us, bro. Probably just made a huge time skip in the video. We finally did it. 60 individual houses are finished in 4 different sizes. Bro, it's insane. 3 weeks. Look at our sites. We have 8 different sites where we've been building houses for over 3 weeks. We can also go inside. Everything's pretty much furnished inside. I mean, not crazy, of course, but at least that someone could live here, and also pretty cozy with the couch and all. All the houses are fully furnished. Here's a desk. We have a moss wall and things like that. We have a storage room, then there's a living room with a kitchen and everything, then there's this huge panoramic window that you can look out of later. It's gonna be really awesome. Then we go up here, upstairs, oh no, right, this is the living room. Down there is just like the dining area and stuff. Then you go up the stairs again, we have like a little enchanter area and all that. And upstairs we have like a little tiny bed, also has a huge view. And this is really just one house out of the 60 that stand here. But even though we've really been on the server for 3 weeks now, we haven't finished yet. We're not done yet, and we're actually far from it. Because these houses you see here, these 60 houses, would obviously be boring if, well, I don't know if it would really be boring. Maybe I'm just telling myself that because I've simply gone crazy. But, of course it wouldn't be as exciting if the entire city around the base were built using only these houses here. It might look a bit monotonous, and considering that we'll probably build several hundred to 1,000 houses in the city and then just keep grabbing these 60 houses here, it might look a bit lame or something. And that's why I initially thought of something I'll probably regret, and I'm super pumped that the construction will continue here soon. But we'll be building 7 more of these houses up ahead. That means we'll go from 60 houses to 480 different houses. Now you also know what the blue markers were for, because our city is built from 8 different components to make everything a bit livelier and more diverse, similar to the biome ring. The 7 other themes aren't about building completely new houses, but rather playing around with new colors and a few special features to adapt the houses to the corresponding style. And after what felt like an eternity of building houses, we are finally finished on this server, and I can present all the designed houses. After over a month and 138 hours, all the house variations that will be coming to our city are complete. We got the normal houses matching the base building, the jungle houses, the poor houses where everything is a bit run down, the magical houses with lots of mushrooms and crystals, then we have the desert houses, the snow houses, the nether houses, and the underwater houses. And guys, we've done a lot of things, but this here was by far the worst and most exhausting thing I've ever done in Minecraft. 32 days, that's over a month, of building houses every single day in creative. You can't imagine, it's so exhausting and monotonous, but we did it, and here they are, 480 individual houses that will eventually be in our city. In addition to all the residential buildings, our city will have a few special buildings like a casino or even a small castle, but we'll deal with those a little later. But before we start sourcing the materials for the houses and then moving on to the next phase, we need to take a small sidestep. As you can see, we've done all the markings. That was, well, 32 days ago. And now we gotta add a couple more. But before we can even start farming the materials, we first need to know how many houses our city will actually have. We have 480 different houses, but some of them will also be building twice. So that's why we now need to figure out how many houses we need. Only then can we create the final materials list. And that's why our task is now going to be to create lots of borders in each marking, namely borders for the houses. We had those on the building server too, so those little boxes where we built the houses. And now we have to build them everywhere here too. This will not only determine the number of houses, but also directly determines the exact position of each house, which will be enormously helpful later on. And to make that many markings, we need about 32 double crates of concrete in 8 different colors. This means we'd better build a concrete duper now, which we'll need for the houses later anyway. And for that, we'll need to tackle a bunch of redstone materials. Item number 1 for our concrete duper, all colors of concrete powder, 16 of each color to be exact. And finding sand could be a challenge, because we've seemingly mined all the sand in this area. There's a beach here, but, well, there's not much sand left. Oh, there's a little sand here. So then we need gravel, and for gravel we'd best go to the nether. Alright, sand and gravel. And now we need all the different colors for the concrete powder. So I don't know all the colors, I couldn't list them all, but oh my god, bro, dude, where'd that creeper just come from? It's day. So light green is still missing, and green, and cyan is also kind of green. So we're still missing anything green. That means we need cactus. We're going to look for a desert, and searching for biomes can always take quite a while. Oh, and what do we have here? A desert? 40,000 blocks later I find a desert? Alright, hello. And here we get green paint. Good. There they are, all the concrete colors. Wonderful. These will be all the concrete powder varieties that we'll then put into the duper. So, item number 2 is 150 white concrete. We've checked that off too. Once we gathered all the materials, we were able to build a duper, which really didn't take long considering how incredibly OP the machine is. So then let's give this a try. I have no idea if this is the power button right here, but I'll just press this lever and see what happens. Okay, I think, oh damn, there's TNT. Oh my god. Yo, this is sick. Everything's dropped out here. Then you can always put it into the shulker. Okay, now we need about 32 double crates concrete. I didn't even have to wait a half an hour for this, and we finally had our building blocks for the house markers. But before we could start placing them everywhere, we had to quickly place another 250,000 Blackstone, which took 5 hours, because I forgot that the upper areas also needed to be filled. Alright, the concrete we have here, and we can finally start with the markings. Now it's going to be really important that we set up our city accordingly. You can see here we have these light blue lines, and there are 8 different themed areas. We'll be making a specific style at each distance from these 2 blue lines. That's why we have 8 different colors. Now what's really important is that we can't just start building random squares and scatter them around here everywhere, because in our city, there will be more streets than just this main street in the branches to the left and right. Within these individual areas, there will also be paths. People need to get to the houses in the middle, so there must be ways to get there too. Which means that we're gonna have to be very careful about how we're gonna space all of these square markings. And after 30 minutes of agreeing on the spacing for the houses, we gradually filled all the areas with all the colorful squares. Dude, this looks so sick. You just have to imagine that every single marker is gonna be one house. I think now you can definitely get a pretty good idea and imagine what it might look like later. Dude, it's gonna be insane. I think it works pretty well with the different colors. It also fits the biome pretty well. And now the task at hand is, we're now gonna have to count each of these markers, so then we finally know how many houses our city is exactly gonna have. And the result of that is 673 individual houses. We can now compile a large material list, which brings us to phase 3, by far the largest phase in this video, materials. Since we already pre-built all the houses in our city, I was able to scan them on Flatland, see how many materials 480 houses would need, and then simply extrapolate everything, since we know there would be a total of 673. And now we know we need 5,061,610 blocks to build all the houses in survival. And that's without roads, the floors, special houses, and little extras that we'll build later. And remember when I told y'all we only used 6 different blocks for the building in the center? Yeah, well, the houses in the city use over 600 different blocks. That means our city is not only made up of well over 5 million blocks, but also half of all Minecraft items. That is, if we ever manage to farm all the blocks on this endlessly long and gruesome list. But you know what? Let's just forget that we've been doing all this stuff for 51 days, and let's start on material farm day 1. We have a gigantic list of items we need to farm, and we've built this massive warehouse behind me for the 5 million items we need. Over 500 different items, completely sorted from top to bottom. At the bottom are the items we need the most, and at the top are some items we only need 1 or 2 of. I'd say we should start off with a block we need the most from. And we can see it down here on the left, white concrete. And of that we need 209,000. But the good thing is we've already built the concrete duper for all the markings, and now we just need to go to the end to our concrete duper. White concrete. White concrete is no problem at all. Okay, so our job is to stand here and simply place the white concrete into the shulker. And it's not working. Perfect. Dude, why is their comparator missing? You think it's a big deal if I just remove the comparator here? I'll just do it. Let's see what happens. Comparator that automatically reduces the full shulker over here over and over again is missing. So that makes things a bit easier. You see, shulker is being dismantled, goes in here, goes into the chest, and the only thing you have to do is keep on putting in all the concrete. So this will make about 100,000 an hour. That means I have to stand here for about 2 hours. And while I'm standing here for half an eternity, every other player is also farming their own block. When farming, we're making sure to first acquire the blocks that we can't get with large farms. For example, blocks like nether gold ore, red sand, or endstone. All the farms we'll be building are currently being prepared by Mr. Tivo, our redstoner, on a separate world. That might take a few more days, but hey, we got a long list. Oh, we're done. These are exactly how many shulkers we need. We need 121 shulkers, completely full with white concrete. And with that, the first item is complete. All the double crates are full. And I'd say, next up, we'll make an item that's a little higher up. Endstone bricks are next up. I think we'll just pick an end island here. I want a cute, whoa, yeah, this one. Look, this is a cute little island here. Let's just break down this whole thing here. But first, all of these chorus fruits have to go. Haste 2, and we're mining the whole island. Endstone checked off. 19,000 endstone. 11 shulkers full. Now we can bring him back, then we'll recraft him there and sort him, then we can move on to the next item. Oh yeah, and we should maybe take the beacon as well. And then the server crashed. Wait a minute. Where's my endstone shulker? All of my endstone shulkers and half my diamond beacon are gone. Oh, bro, nah, man, seriously though. It's all bugged away. Nice. Man, dude, I'm not farming all the shulkers again. How stupid. And then I spent another 3 hours mining endstone. Maybe y'all could leave a sympathy like in the meantime. 11 shulkers again. Bro, I'm spent. And I hope the shulkers don't bug away this time. But before we can sort in our endstone though, we just need to recraft it real quick. Alright, and with that, the endstone bricks checked off. And I'd say the next item we'll make is one of those we'll need a little less of. Right now we're on the top floor of our warehouse. We'll need 162 skeleton heads, and we'll take care of those now. 162 skeleton heads don't sound like a lot at first. At least if you don't know, you only get mob heads from charged creepers. Skeleton heads can also be occasionally found in ancient cities, which isn't necessarily easier, but at least it saves you from waiting for a thunderstorm, which can sometimes take a really long time. So I started looking for the first ancient city. Oh, okay. Here we have a grove biome, and here are frozen peaks. I'd say we can dig down here. Let's see if the first ancient city is waiting for us. Oh, ancient city. Alright, slow and steady. There's already the first skeleton head. Okay, now the question is, how many skeleton heads do we get per ancient city? Here's the first one. And I'd also always take the crates with me for a few OP gaps, maybe. But the most important thing is the heads. Hopefully we figure out where they are over time. Look here. Is there another one here? No, nothing here. Oh, there! Okay, so always by these double crates, the skeleton heads can't be far. But I think there are other places too. Oh, here again, right? I think there's another one here. Oh, yeah. And I think I saw one on the outside of some pillar or something like that. And I'm kinda curious to see if I might even die in here. Is there a warden here? Oh, there's another one. I hear a warden. Oh, back there. Dude! Bro, from how far away does he know where I am, bro? Chill out, man. Another one up there. Hello. Wait a second. I don't think there's one here. I think that was it. But I'm pretty sure I also saw some heads laying somewhere on the ground before. But maybe that's not the case in every ancient city. The annoying thing is we also have to find these ancient cities every time, and that always takes a while. Yeah, and for once I was right, because from here on I spent 3 hours searching for the next city, and I was truly desperate. Shit, there's nothing here. Just some weird deep dark stuff. No, I don't think there's anything here. I think we can actually give up here. Oh, please, man. Oh, come on. Please not just another deep dark where there's nothing there. Oh man, I just want an ancient city. Bro, the fact that nothing's here is downright disrespectful. No, there's nothing here. Dude, I'm getting so frustrated. Bro, and again, there's nothing. I can't, bro. I'm digging down the same spot for the 4th time now trying to find an ancient city. Dude, I've been here before, bro. I'm moving on. I don't want to anymore, bro. Bro, if there's an ancient city here, I'm gonna delete Minecraft. This is just so disrespectful, bro. Come on, man. No, nothing here. I don't even want to anymore. And nothing here as well. And there's no ancient city beneath this mountain. That's what you're telling me? I'm going minus 30. Alright, I'm minus 31 now. Okay, I'll just dig through this completely. Oh my god. There is one. Bro, I've been looking here for 3 hours for another ancient city. Dude, finally. The curse is broken. Let's get these skulls. Bro, you just leave me alone. Here's another double. There we got the second one. Oh my god, there! Oh my god. See, I'm not crazy. By these pillars, you gotta look out for those. Bro, look at this guy. He's contemplating his life. And from here on, things actually got much better. Come on, another one would be cheeky, right? Oh, there's a cave. Here's another one. I spent 3 hours looking for an ancient city, and I'm just digging in that direction, and there's another one. Oh, I'm sorry. Well, I don't want to complain. I'm not gonna. Dude, there's so many white horses, and now all the white horses will die. Oh, it's storming, it's storming, it's storming, it's storming. Important. Okay. Dude, I waited so long. Now we need creepers and skeletons. Here we have creepers. We'll turn them into charged creepers. Boom. Bam. Now we need to keep luring them to skeletons, because we're gonna get some free skeleton skulls out of that. Alright, now we need to hurry up, because every minute of this thunderstorm counts. Alright, now explode. Okay. No! What? Huh? So, creeper, come with me, come here, come here. Did I get one? Yes! Oh my god, at least we got one. I don't really know how long a thunderstorm lasts. Let's get a lighter going so that we can explode the creepers like that. There's the head. Look at this, bro. We don't need an ancient city. We're just out in the open space, farming these skeleton skulls. Next one. This is so important, dude. You don't even get it. That was like the 9th skull or something. Oh no, and I think, oh my god, the storm is over. Guess that was it. Well, dude, look at me. We now have 61 skulls. And this one. I don't need that one though. Well, but I also gotta say, you can only get, and that's why we're doing this whole thing via ancient cities, because the thunderstorm was just really too short. You can really only get 1 skull per creeper explosion. But I want to check something out real quick. Look, there are even 2 charged creeper left up ahead. Alright, so if we now do it right, it's still night. Alright, watch out, watch out, watch out. Okay, good. What? Huh? I didn't get it? Alright, come here, come here. Alright, this time we got it. 10 skulls out of 1 storm. And with that, I farmed a total of 62 heads so far. But because the whole thing was taking way too long, and I actually wanted to farm a few other items, all the other players helped me farm skulls the next day. And so, after 3 days, we finally finished this block. Bro, we're really missing 1 singular skull. And we don't have any more. Yeah, okay, let's just take this one. Well, just remember, the box with the empty item frame are the skulls. Then I continued with 70,000 snow blocks, for which I first flew into a new frost biome where there's really tons of snow. We've been busy restocking our giant warehouse for the last few days, and things are progressing quite well, but we're still nowhere near finished, and there's still hundreds of different blocks to go, some of which will be an extreme grind. That should be the last shulker now. 18, 19, and 20. And with that, we have another block checked off. Let's take these shulkers with us again. The next block we'll be farming will be this block. It's a brown mushroom block, and from that we're gonna need 31,409. And for that, the very first thing we'll need is a silk touch axe, preferably, and a mushroom biome. Oh my god, I still got an axe. Wait a minute, maybe there's silk touch on it. Hey, I really have a silk touch. Wait, what? I still have a silk touch axe. Well, we can use that one then. I don't really know why there's a silk touch axe in my inner chest, but just not gonna think about it. We can just see real quick if it works. Yeah, okay, I can mine it. So now we just need a mushroom island biome, and then we should be able to get a few of them there in a hurry. 18.5 shulkers, now we just have to find another biome. I hope that doesn't take too long. Oh, there it is! Now the big question is, I think mushroom blocks have a weird connection. Will they drop like that now? Oh my god. Yeah, that's exactly what I mean. Does it drop as a regular mushroom block? Wait, if I mine this one? Oh, that's also a brown one. Ah, okay. I guess you always drop the brown mushroom blocks. There's only one brown mushroom block. We have 2.5 shulkers, brown mushroom blocks. And of course that won't be enough, we need to fill all these up. And because it's a bit of a chore to farm them, we're gonna make a massive mushroom plantation. And for that, I'm gonna need some bone meal. That means we'll go to Nether, down to Soul Sand Valley, and farm some bone blocks. Dude, what do these Endermen do? Look, they've been working here for a while. I then reformed a whole bunch of mycelium to lay out and create a large flat area where I could plant the mushrooms much more densely, which in return makes mining them a whole lot easier. Oh, what's this? It just spawned here, on my acreage. Why am I always being haunted by all the mobs? The wandering trader comes all the time, that gang of bandits. Oh, hey! The pillagers, I mean. They all come to me. Yeah, okay, we planted him a little too dense. Oh. What? So yeah, I got the weather turned off in my settings. Did you just see what happened? Dude, I just got struck by lightning. You know how crazy that is? That just never happens. The skeleton horse just came by and I got struck by lightning. What? Yeah, I always turn the weather off because I hate the rain. I just want the sun to shine. And even with my modest mushroom plantation, the whole thing took quite a while. I mean, we're talking about 30,000 mushroom blocks here. And even after more than 6 hours of farming, this happened to me just before I finished. I think I've drank it before, but I've never done it myself. No! Oh no, it's the second time a tool broke today, and it's my mate, or was it my mate? Oh no, this is so unfortunate now. I don't have a silk touch axe anymore. We did it! All the mushroom blocks are finished. Finally. Bro, I've been here for like 6 or 7 hours or something. Finally, it's over. These mushrooms are a real nightmare. And now, we're gonna fill all these boxes with our hard-earned mushroom blocks. So it's really starting to fill up now, isn't it? Maybe we can go count everything we have in stock right now. I told you we need about 5 million blocks. Pretty exactly 5 mil, actually. Then let's go count all the blocks we have in the boxes now and see what percentage we have so far. I've added up everything from our warehouse. 5 million blocks, that's how much the finished warehouse is going to contain in total. We currently have 1,359,000 items, approximately. 1.3 mil. It's okay. 1.3 million items is quite alright. Just have to keep in mind that these aren't the kind of items you get from farms, which is sometimes extremely abundant, like wood or something like that, or wool, or even simple things like concrete or sand or something like that. But all we farmed so far were 1.3 million items, which also includes items like 162 skulls. And soon we might even be able to start the first farm, but I would like to go get another item next. I just spent about 7 hours farming mushroom blocks, and things can only get better, you'd think. Next up, we'll farm a block that might not be quite as fun. Once again, which will be this block. Well, yes, lapis. Lapis blocks. We'll need about 13,000 of them, and the annoying thing is you can't get these blocks through a farm. You can trade them, but we'll probably have to go into some caves for a bit. My strategy now is to farm lapis lazuli in water caves on this ocean here, which is a bit further away, because, for those who didn't know, there are more ores in water caves. As you can see, there's already some lapis here, because ores in Minecraft generate in such a way that they're not visible from the outside, like here. But in water caves, it's not air, it's water, and that's why they're more likely to be exposed. You can see them everywhere here. See, everything here is full of ore, and I think 100,000 lapis might take a while. We are back from a very long lapis farming tour. We currently have a whole shulker completely full of ore, and we're gonna go ahead and take all this ore and mine it with Fortune 3, cause I don't really know how much we'll actually get out of it, and maybe we've almost made it. One and a half shulkers lapis blocks. Bro, that's way less than I thought. We need 8 shulkers. 8. We don't even have 2, so not even half. And it took me about like 5 or 6 hours. So the next day I asked a few other players for help so I wouldn't spend the whole next week farming lapis. And that made things go a lot faster, especially since we started using tridents in the water caves. After another long day of lapis farming, we went back to camp and placed all our ore. While farming, I traveled over 250,000 blocks in total, so I was really tired of farming lapis and was really hoping this would be enough. So we placed everything and now we can mine it. What are you doing, bro? Not real crafter. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We got it. We easily got it. Well, now that the others helped a bit, it went a lot faster. But it really would have taken me forever on my own. Where do we have lapis? There. Bro, finally we got the lapis done, bro. Please drop it, drop it, drop it, drop it, drop it. 13,149 lapis blocks. Okay, you'll need more than that. It hurts so much to see that we farmed so many for nothing, because it took so long. Well, I'd say lapis is definitely the most challenging block so far. Oh, that was not real crafter. I'm so happy. So we've been busy gathering all of our items for about 14 days now, and our storage room is already pretty full. We have about a third of all the items. That's already a few million. And now we're slowly getting started where we're taking care of all the items we're gonna be farming. And even though we've been on this project for 2 months, we're not skimping on any time in this new part either. Because these won't just be 2 or 3 small farms, we're talking numerous extremely large and super efficient farms that produce hundreds of thousands to millions of items per hour. But before we get to the truly awesome parameter farms, for which we'll be using some world editors after a long time, we'll first take care of a wool farm. Because if you look at our inventory, we already need quite quite a few items that require wool, from which dyed wool is the main problem. I mean, for example, 38,658 brown wool. And now I'm gonna take care of all the materials we need for the wool farm. Starting with powered rails, 495. Yay! Rails! Next item, lime concrete, 448. That's exactly 7 stacks. Here comes lime concrete. Let's go, let's go, let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Lime stained glass. Don't ask me why it's lime. And we should have some more glass here. Here's glass. So, dude, did you ever notice that the armor stand in the smithing table actually has arms? 6.5 stacks. The next item is 3 stacks of dispenser, which means we're gonna need 171 bows. I'd say we should go to the bartering farm for a bit, because there's still a lot of strings there. Alright, here's the bartering farm, and here we got strings. Then we can take 2 shulkers with us. Strings ain't no problem. And that's the thing. We could, of course, also craft the wool out of these, because we have an extremely large amount of strings here. But the wool we would craft from it wouldn't be dyed. 3 stacks dispenser, so moss, and now we need 2.5 stacks of droppers. Droppers are the cooler dispensers, because they're easier to craft. It's kinda wild to say they're nice just because they're easier to craft, but look, they look nice too. Which of these 2 would you trust more? Then we need... Bro, I hate Mr. Tebow, dude. Why do we need waxed, weathered, cut copper slab? Just make a cobblestone slab. Huh? Mr. Tebow is testing the limits, man. I mean, what's coming up in the next farm? Netherite blocks? The funny thing is, netherite blocks would actually be less of a problem than waxed, weathered, cut copper slabs. Because I don't have any honey and I don't have any copper. And I don't want to wait until it's weathered. And short grass. Also 1.5 stacks. I'm actually really curious what we need all this for. I'm just gonna go farm it now because Mr. Tebow told me to, but I'm really curious what we'll need 1.5 stacks of short grass for. Alright, then 35 scaffoldings. We need bamboo for that. But bamboo, we also have that on our biome ring. Dude, there's blocks missing here too. Bro, look, I don't get it. Okay, if there's a hole in the base, I understand. But what on earth had to happen for a whole row of blocks to go missing? That doesn't just happen by accident. So someone just needed to farm some Blackstone and bring in 20 polished Blackstone, and then he just mined a little bit of Blackstone from the base? Or what? Bro, that's just ridiculous. Who does that? Yeah, we can just cut down the bamboo from here with no worries. It's gonna grow back anyways. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. And with that, all the items are gathered up. We're done. Mr. Tebow will take care of the construction of the wool farm. In the meantime, I'll farm the materials for our next extremely important and long needed farm, an iron farm. But not just any iron farm, an iron farm that produces over 20,000 iron per hour. And there we have all the shulkers. We can start building the iron farm now. I'm gonna be doing it all by myself, while the other players are out and about gathering the remaining materials. The thing is, it's not just gonna be a farm we're slapping down here. There's gonna be about 100 villagers and pillagers coming into the farm, so those are also gonna be grindy to get. But first, we'll need all the technology. So we got the iron farm done. All the technology's in place. Now we'll just have to deal with all the villagers and pillagers that'll soon find themselves in here. Here all the villagers will be placed by the beds, and the pillagers need to be here on these spots. I'm not really sure what it's gonna look like, but somehow the pillagers will be constantly moving up and down right here, and all the iron columns will come through the portals. We can also go in here real quick, there into the lava, and into this device here. This is where all the iron goes, and flowers will also be filtered. And the cool thing is about this thing here, so here's the collection point for all this stuff, and the iron blocks are also gonna be instantly crafted. And what I think is really cool is that you can then put shulk shells and locks into these crates. The shulker boxes will then get automatically crafted, filled with iron blocks, and then sorted into the storage. Now we have to get 168 villagers to the iron farm. For this, I first created a large area, then set up a lot of beds, and now we need tons of bread to turn these 2 villagers into one big happy villager family, which will then be locked up later. I have emeralds, and now we just need some bread from this nice guy. Hey, don't fall asleep now. Back to work. Alright, now we're off to the next villager. This guy needs to disappear. Alright. Okay, nice. Now both of them? Yeah, sorry bro, but stay here. Hey, that guy's just thinking, I'm gonna look away. I didn't see nothing. I don't want nothing to do with that. So, well, yep, we got it. One whole shulker full of bread. I hope that's gonna be enough for 168 villagers, but I think so. Oh, I'm sorry about that. I guess the house burnt down. Sorry, bro. But look at the bright side, you're not dead yet. Now I just had to wait and keep dropping bread to the villagers so they multiply. And that was gonna take a while. And cause I'm not really the most patient man, I quickly moved on to, well, other things. Dude, he's dead, bro. He's completely powerless. Should I do 2? Or do you think that's too much? I'm doing 17 withers now. This is awesome, bro. Dude, how easy. Dead. Now to the ones back there. I really have to kill all of them, because how relaxing will it be later when I haven't killed all the withers, and I'm chilling with the villagers, and a wither just comes flying in and kills them. While I was waiting, I also did something useful. I built a large minecart track, which the villagers will use later to get to all their locations. Then a little later, the time had come for the first villagers to enter the farm. He will be the very first villager to enter the iron farm. Bro, how do you think the villagers here feeling right now? They were born next to the iron farm with the sole purpose of being used here in this construct. Now we need to give him a little push, and then he should have a slow and easy ride up there. There he comes. Let's go, let's go, let's go. And in. Now the question is, can I push it in without breaking the block up here every time? I just have to destroy the minecart in time. I'm just gonna have to try it and save a lot of time. Okay, it works. Perfect. Something's here. Why is there something missing? Oh no, did one of those wither skulls hit the farm? Oh, and what's here? Wait, what? How much is actually missing here? It's missing half of this thing. Oh god, maybe I shouldn't have done that stuff with the withers. Number 168. It has been done. Oh, we actually forgot a villager. But for the iron farm to actually work, we need to put 8 more pillagers there that will constantly scare the villagers so that the iron golems spawn. And for that, we even let the pillagers' crossbows break so that really nothing can go wrong. So when does— oh my god! Mine's broken! Man, does he look stupid. Okay, the first one's broken, and they're already making the next 3 up ahead. So I really can't do any damage anymore. That's so cool. Oh, it's broken too? No. Wait, what's he doing with his hands? Hey, mine doesn't do that with his hands. It looks so cursed. Who are these guys, bro? He needs to pee. He can't hold it. Then I'd say we activate the iron farm for the very first time. Everything is ready. All the villagers are in. All the pillagers are in. And you activate the farm in the nether. This here is the on button. If we press this, it starts. Oh my god, okay. Looking pretty good. So it's not as crazy as a gold farm, but those are iron golems. Look, bro, they're still getting pushed out of there in bunches. We can go ahead and check if there's already something in our system. I don't know if the crafters are working. That's also something. Wait, there's iron laying there. But why? Oh my god, it's laying around! It's falling down here. Oh, why is it dismantled? Alright, then we're off to the next task after the iron farm, which is working. And in the meantime, Mr. Tivo has built something beautiful here, and this would be our wool farm. And it's also completely finished too. The only thing missing here are the sheep. So I've taken care of breeding lots of sheep and sorting them into the wool farm. And there, each sheep occupies 1 by 1 by 1 block. So the wool farm was finished, but we couldn't activate it yet, because in the beginning this farm requires a lot of bone meal, and we'll probably wait for the large wood farm that'll come later, as it produces a really large amount of bone meal. Now we're slowly getting to a point in this phase where we can also start building the larger farms. So the iron farm and the wool farm are finished, and now we're gonna build 2 farms that'll be a bit bigger, I should say. We're gonna build a guardian farm and also a creeper farm. Both per meter farms where guardians and creepers will actually stream out of the portal. It's gonna be pretty sick. For such extremely overpowered farms, you need a little more than just a little redstone technology. We need separate parameters for both gunpowder and creeper farms. A parameter is essentially a giant hole that extends all the way down to the bedrock, preventing other mobs from spawning and allowing farms to be built very deep. The further down a farm is, the more mobs will spawn. So we're gonna remove 16 million blocks for our 2 farms, and just like we did with our mega base hole, we're gonna need the World Eater. This machine uses lots of small TNT models and flying machines to remove every single block in the specific area, as well as water and lava, but that comes at a pretty high price because a World Eater isn't exactly small, and we need 2 of them. And the first thing I'm gonna get now is 6,800 slime blocks. And for that, we're gonna go to our slime farm real quick, which we built a very, very, very long time ago. It's not that big of a farm, okay? But let's just go check how much is in the box. There was an AFK account here, so if everything went well, there should be a lot of slime balls in these boxes right now. We need 6,842 slime blocks. Dude, so what? I don't get it, bro. I mean, really, how bad was this farm? So slime blocks are the material you like need the most for a world eater, and slime is the most important thing. Now, the thing is, we're on the latest version, and there is another way to get slime, but I've never done that though. This thing here is apparently supposed to produce lots and lots and lots of slime. I'm not 100% sure how it works, I've never built it before, but it does work with the new oozing potions, which make the mobs drop slimes when they die. Bam. Oozing. Potion of oozing. We should now be able to simply place lots of snow here, and then lots and lots and lots and lots of snow golems should spawn. Potion, now they all got the effect, and now the lever. Okay. Oh my god, what? Okay, that's just crazy. Yo, look at this, bro. It's gonna be so much slime. Oh my god, what? So I just want to remind y'all of the box we just saw from our slime farm. This here is 2,000 slimes with looting 3. Dude. Okay, now this is absolutely crazy. So that's already 7 stacks of slime blocks in such a short time. So if I do this for like a half an hour, we should have it. We should have it by now. We got over 2 double crates of slime blocks. That means this farm was definitely more effective than any slime farm we could have built. After that, we took care of everything else we needed for the world eater. Most of these were items we either still had or still needed to craft. So after a few hours, we had everything together and were able to start on the first parameter. All the materials are farmed, all the slime blocks, all the pistons, and all the other stuff. Everything's finished, and we've even found the spot for our guardian farm. It'll go here. This is the ocean monument, which we'll completely shred down to the bedrock. And we're gonna start with this parameter here because it's a bit more difficult here than the parameter we're gonna be building for the creeper farm. It's here in the ocean, and we need to remove a little bit of water. Not just anywhere, but within this gigantic frame. World Eater also removes water, but with World Eater you always need trenches that go down to the bedrock. These are meant to prevent water from flowing into the machine from the sides, because redstone and water aren't so good. We have to create these trenches manually beforehand, and since I don't plan on mining the blocks by hand, we'll use small TNT dupers for this, which is why we're removing the water there. Alright, so that means, in order to remove all the water, we're first gonna have to divide everything into lots and lots of individual sand lanes, so that later we can use the sponges left, right, left, right, left, right to remove all the water. And for that, we already prepped a little bit. Right here, we got a bunch of shulkers filled with sand. Right here underneath, it all needs to be filled, so this might take a while. Oh my god, dude! Look at this! With Dolphin's Grace. Yo, bro, I'm so fast. Man, it does look cool. So now we can start using the sponges to get rid of all the water. But first, I'm gonna need some. There we have the very first ocean monument. Hello, hello. I need a couple of sponges. Oh. But we're prepared for that. We got milk. So, where's the sponge room? I don't think there's a real strategy here because it generates completely random. Oh, or not. That was all according to plan. So I'll just farm 6, 7, 8 stacks. That should definitely be enough. The more sponges we have... Bro, chill. So we started using sponges to remove the water and quickly realized that it would take forever doing it like that. That's why we looked for another solution and tried small flying machines, and they were actually quite a bit more efficient. And we're now gonna activate this trencher here on this side and there on the other side. Yep, it works. Let's go. There you see the first blocks are being destroyed. Let's go. Alright, let's go. Here as well. And here there's also water being blasted out, and we've now activated the thing on both sides. It's constantly moving back and forth on both sides, and automatically moves down one block at a time until it's blasted its way down to the bedrock. And what we're gonna have to do is take these sponges and constantly make sure that there's no water here. So all these water caves that keep popping up here, we're gonna have to keep getting rid of them now while that thing is still running. That's our job now. And once we've got all that down to the bedrock, we'll start making the next trenches. Then we'll continue with the ones to my left and right. These trenches really cost us a lot of nerves, and it took us several days until they were finished because the TNT dupers kept getting stuck on certain blocks. But let's just skip that part and move on to where we activate the World Eater. We are done with both of the trenches, and as you can see, the World Eater is also already set up. And not just here, but also here in the ocean. Both trenches are finished. It took us a couple of days. Mr. Tivo didn't build a World Eater this time. I built it, among others. So let's see if it works. So that's the on switch. We just need to click on it and then it should start. And then all these TNT dupers up here should shave everything down to the bedrock. So before I click on it, I just wanted to remind you that we also made our mega base with the World Eaters, and that was an incredible pain. Didn't really want anything to do with World Eaters anymore, cause the whole server crashed, and the Eater kept crashing, and I had to rebuild it and all. God, I hope things will be better this time. I'm clicking the block in 3, 2, 1. It begins. Okay, yeah, okay, I think it's working, right? No wait, something's not right here. Why isn't it working? Is it the minecart or something? Yeah. But it is running. It looks so sick though. I love World Eater. The World Eater is going to be running over here the whole time, but there's water here right now. That's why we have the sweepers down here. They're going to clear away all the water and the lava, and we're blowing up things in front of the sweepers, which isn't really helping right now. But for example, these blocks are being removed. Alright, bam. Oh yeah. No gaps. No problems. And now you can see here too, the first water has already been removed. Very, very nice. Let's activate the other one as well. And then I hope we can get it done in about 7 or 8 hours. I really hope we can just blast it down to the bedrock in one go, if it all goes well. 3, 2, 1, and we'll start running here too. Oh yeah. Okay, perfect. Yo, imagine you're the Elder Guardian, and you're looking at this. Bro, what's this fish gotta be thinking? Alright, we can take another look over here. Anything gotten destroyed? Oh yeah. A few trees have already been cut down. Hey, what's up? How's it going? Bro, I got some bad news for you. I had nothing to do with this. New Year's Eve for the pig. Piggy's gonna have a blast now. So now we're mostly just waiting, and our main task was to remove obsidian from caves, which could stop the World Eater. And yes, of course, not everything worked out without problems. The World Eater broke a few times due to the smallest and stupidest errors imaginable, and we had to craft a couple of parts completely new again. But at some point, we reached a point where absolutely nothing went wrong anymore, and the World Eater made it all the way down to the bedrock in one piece. We have done it! 8 million blocks here in the ocean, and also up ahead, the parameters finished too. Dude, it looks so clean. Look at it. Just a fat chunk cut out from the Minecraft world. These giant bedrock holes will ensure that our Guardian farm and Creeper farm, which we'll build here next, become significantly more efficient, and the mobs just downright pour out of the portals. We split up for the farm construction, so half the players would take care of the Creeper farm while I build the Guardian farm with a few other players. And for that, we need a few materials. Item number 1 is 22,344 cobblestone stairs. Now here, we should still have a bunch of cobblestone. We've been here a couple times now. Let's go back and craft the stairs. 22,000 cobblestone stairs. Check. So next item we're gonna need is 8,000 glass. And for that, I'm gonna need another desert. I love finding deserts. Yeah. Oh, here's sand. Okay, we can actually farm it here. We don't really need a desert. Hey, yo! What? Like there's a treasure chest here with 2 or 3 diamonds. Bro, I'm just farming some sand on some random beach, and there's a chest. So now we also have sand. Now we just need to smelt it. We also need 4 shulkers obsidian. We can get those from the bartering farm. Cool. There we have the glass. There we got obsidian. We're still gonna need 7.5 stacks of gray concrete. I really gotta say, this concrete duper is so satisfying. Those 7 stacks that should... Oh, I see, I'm already done. And off. Alright. So it's really important that we turn it off because it's been left on overnight before. And yeah, the next day when somebody went to the end, the server crashed. Gray concrete, also done. Alright, redstone comparator we also have. That's the second to last item. And the last item we're gonna need is 1 dirt block. Oh, here's the holy dirt block. I'm really curious to see what we're gonna need this dirt block for, but that's the last item. And with that, we farmed all the materials for our Guardian farm. And right here in the dead center, we're now gonna use all these materials to build the Guardian farm. We have finished building the Guardian farm. Everything's done in the old world, including the storage in the nether, and we're now going to activate the Guardian farm, which is supposed to be super OP for the very first time. Someone's already AFK in the overworld. Now I just need to light up this portal. Hello? That's nothing happening. Well, that's not good, you know? Because if no Guardians are coming out here, then I think the Guardians might be coming out somewhere else. Okay, wait a minute, I'll do the extreme test, alright? The problem is, they're probably coming out of a portal in Nether right now, which isn't the same portal we have on the ceiling, and that has to be dismantled. I have totems, I have OP gaps, and I'm now going through the portal. Bro, it's such a stupid idea. I'm going through. Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. Alright, quick, get out of here, get out of here. Dude, bro, what's going on? I need to take down the portal. Dude, what's happening? Oh my god, I need to get it done fast. Can I dismantle it? Alright, I got it. Get out of here quick. Bro, if I stand there too long, I instantly die. I thought I was gonna die. And to be honest, I actually died once before while we were building the farm, but not from Guardians, but from zombie piglins. Man, bro, what do they want from me here, man? Go away. You need to put a staircase there. Dude, what are they? Alright, that's enough. Get out of my way. Alright, I don't think they can follow me in here. Oh, no, no, no. Oh my god, wait. I'm dead. Yeah, guys, I'm sorry, but that's the wrong fluid. Bro, they think it's the ocean. Oh! Oh my god, okay, here we go. Dude. Bro, this is just crazy. Now take a look at that. This is the 1 to 2 million items per hour Guardian farm. Bro, are you getting this? Those are just mobs spawning right this second. It's crazy that's even possible in Minecraft. So this is how we did it here. The items are still down here. Now we just need to take them all to the sorters and destroy the farm. Let me repair that. So let me turn on the filters, and then we can also take a look at the creeper farm, because that farm has been finished in the meantime as well. And let me say, it's also quite a sight. Here's the creeper farm, and you can already see the creepers flashing up every now and then. The whole farm is shimmering slightly. Those are the creepers that keep spawning down there and instantly go to nether. Now we're gonna go to the other side and see what it looks like when they come out into the nether. Oh my god, you can already see it. Look at that. Thousands of creepers that land in here on cobwebs, and now look at my levels. This is also a really, really good XP farm. I can just stand here now and take a look at my level. I did die while building the Guardian farm. This is so awesome. So if I stand here for a while, I can actually do that real quick. I'll easily reach level 100. Alright, and level 100. This is so crazy. Didn't even take 5 minutes and I'm at level 100. It should produce up to about 1 million gunpowder per hour, and that's just insane. So I just reached level 100 in less than 5 minutes. I don't never want to hear, yo, try to get to level 1000, bro. Because I'm standing at this farm. Nah, you know what? I'm gonna stay overnight at this farm, and I'll be farming levels the whole time. And then we'll see how many levels I'll have tomorrow. So it's the next day, and about 18 hours have passed. And I've got a couple more levels. 1,808 levels in just one single night. Oh, my sounds are off because they're getting on my nerves. We've already built a few farms that will help us refill the block storage. And that would be the next step because we're now activating all the farms we built before or had from before. We're far from finished and there's still a few more farms coming that we need for the city, but we don't want to have 30 farms running at once right at the end because our server wouldn't like that at all. So let's turn on everything we have so far. Whoa, what's this? Is that the Froglight farm? Dude, this one has portals too. Okay, damn, I haven't seen it myself. There, that's it, right? So this farm should also be pretty good because we're really gonna need a whole lot of Froglights. Oh, yep, you can actually see it there. Yeah, there are a bunch of frogs in there. Looks kind of weird. Oh, They get damaged by powder snow. And then the little ones get torn apart by frogs. Dude, man, that looks really cool. The server's on 10 TPS because of the frog. Oh my god, bro, what's up here? Because of the magma farm or what? Yo! Bro, the frogs are completely overwhelmed. Then I'd at least do it this way. I'll just remove a few of the portals here so there aren't so many magma cubes getting through. Then, the frogs we have in the overworld should be enough. Just get rid of a couple of these guys. So I think that should do. Yeah, that's fine. That's half of them. Are they keeping up? I think that's fine. Good. Then, we've turned on the first farm. Gonna leave it on for a bit. Then all the froglets get gathered in here. So the farm will now passively provide us with froglets all the time. Alright, Guardian Farm is also activated. And as you see now, the items no longer land down there. They're now constantly being shot upwards by the slimes, and they're then continually sorted here. Fully automatic, it lands right here in the shulker. This is the creeper farm. Creeper farm is also on. And we now also have a beautiful large warehouse, just like in the Guardian farm. Now Real Crafter was cooking, so we really don't need any gunpowder anymore. So if we let the thing run for one night, with the storage, we didn't have that last time, we shouldn't need any gunpowder anymore. Never again, probably. Alright, so the next stop will be our iron farm right over there. The iron farm is also pretty important. We got many materials and many blocks where we need iron. Alright, iron farm also activated. So now a bunch of shulkers full of iron blocks are going to be making their way in. I think it's such a nice feeling knowing that we're going to be constantly stacking up iron all the time. All the time iron, all the time gunpowder, all the time prismarine, and all the time frog lights. All while doing nothing. Next up, we're going to turn on our bartering farm. You can see here, there are currently 300 piglins in here. And we're gonna go ahead and activate them now so we can especially get a lot of nether quartz back. You can see there's not much left in here, and we need something like 80,000 smooth quartz blocks. For that, we already started using the gold farm in the past. You can see the gold coming through, goes through this portal here, then it arrives directly on the other side at the piglins. The piglins throw it through again, and then they're gonna be sorted into all the boxes here up front. Yeah, they definitely got a bit to chew on now. You can see it here too. Bro, it's almost like a overcrowded bus in the summer. Alright, on to the next farm. This here is our clay farm, which we need especially for packed mud. Yeah, we definitely need a little more. We're gonna almost need 200,000 packed mud. And that's not even counting all the terracotta we need. Now the lever. Now you can see it's constantly moving back and forth, placing new trees. The trees down here keep spawning potsol. The potsol will then explode here and then dirt will drop. And this is the item dropper. We can activate that too. Then the dirt will keep falling down from up there. Then you can activate this thing here. There needs to be an account here. I can do that real quick. Then whoever is going to keep adding their soil here. And here the mud is actually going to be coming through, which is there crafted with water bottles. This is such a crazy farm. I think it's truly fascinating how this crazy chain of different mechanics just emerges. And then all the mud is automatically poured into shulkers and then into here. Yeah, but the thing is running. And that means the 200,000 packed mud we need shouldn't be that much of a problem. We now need to go down to the nether. The next farm, the last farm we're gonna visit, I myself have actually only been there once so far, and that's a blaze farm, because we still need around 70,000 end rods, and for that we need lots and lots of blaze rods, and you craft end rods with blaze rods, and we have a small blaze farm which we'll fly to now. Alright, so this here is our blaze farm, made of 2 spawners that continually spawn blaze. I don't know how long we've had this. I've only been here once myself. I think it's been here quite a while. 7.5 double crates. They need to be filled, which means I'm gonna set up an account here as well, which will then farm all the blazes over and over again. So he'll probably be staying here for like 2 or 3 days or so. What we can do real quick is maybe set up another beacon with regeneration, or else he'll probably starve to death at some point if he keeps on hitting. Strength and regeneration. So now we've technically activated all of the farms. The only one that's not active right now is this one here, which we also made, the wool farm, and there's a very simple reason for that. I actually wanted to have this farm running in the background, because we do need a lot of wool, and it doesn't necessarily produce that much. The only problem is, and we have this with a few farms, the farm needs bone meal. Lots and lots of bone meal to start with, and we don't have our bone meal farm right now. The bone meal farm only comes with the wood farm. Now you're probably wondering, which wood farm? And that's right, we haven't built it yet. We need bone meal at the beginning for many farms. Same applies here. There's a small bone meal farm here, but it's only enough for the operation and not enough for the start. That means we'll have to wait until we build the wood farm. And that's exactly what we're gonna do next. We're gonna take care of one last very large farm the gigantic wood farm. Another farm, which was also built by the others in the meantime, is this one. It's the nether wood farm. It's also a pretty big boy, and here we have the same problem as with the wool farm. Can't turn them on yet either. We need bone meal to get them started, and the bone meal farm is connected to the wood farm we're building now. And yes, it might not have been so smart to build them right at the end, but in general we don't have that much to do anymore, so we really only have a few small farms left. The last big farm is the wood farm. The big wood farm, one or two other small farms, and then we've actually made it. They all still need to be activated, and then we'll have all the materials for the city. So we've almost reached our goal. So over the next 2 days, we worked through the extensive list of materials for the wood farm piece by piece. Afterward, we were able to build it right away. Since the farm is quite large and complex to build, it'll probably take a bit longer. Meanwhile, we've crafted all the new blocks from the farms and sorted them into the warehouse. I then counted through the entire storage again to see how many blocks were still missing. Now, after starting a few farms and sorting everything in, we currently have an item count of 3.2 million items, which actually surprises me. Would have thought we'd easily have around 4 million or something, but all the wood is still missing. It does make quite a difference, because we have quite a few items that require wood, like the slabs, trapdoors, and all the like. It's just not all there yet. Plus, there are all the wool items and such, but yeah, we currently have 3.2 million items. The wood farm isn't finished yet, it's currently being built. Once the wood farm is finished, we'll move on to the second round. Then we'll turn on all the other farms for a second round, because a few other farms have been built in the past few days and weeks that you haven't seen yet. We'll activate all of them as well. And actually, we should have waited until yesterday when I found out that we don't have a very specific block yet. And the block that we're still missing is this block. Gilded Blackstone. And in case you don't know what this block is all about, you can see it here on our base wall. We've already farmed quite a bit there. This block is placed all the way up there along the edges, and Gilded Blackstone is incredibly difficult to farm. You only find these blocks in bastions, on walls, and occasionally in chests. And the whole time I actually thought we still had Gilded Blackstone, so I never really thought about it. But we don't have any. The only Gilded Blackstone is this, so not even a full chest. That means we have to farm Gilded Blackstone. This is one of the last block of items we still need to farm manually. You can't get it from a farm, so otherwise it's really just wood farms, turning on the other farm, sorting everything into storage, and then we can build a city. So now we just need to get some Gilded Blackstone. There's Gilded Blackstone. We need to keep bringing this in, bro. It's really extremely difficult to farm, so it's in crates every now and then it's here on the walls. Oh, there's the next one. So, treasure bastion here. Sometimes there's half a stack of Gilded Blackstone in one chest. So down here, by these chests, you could potentially really get some. Often, there's simply nothing in there. But if you're really lucky, you'll find a lot in there. So, there's nothing in this box. And there are more chests. Oh, there we have it. Then we got more of them over there. And 2 more. So, over here. Oh, there's something in here, but not a crazy amount. But it was around 10 or 12 or something like that. Nada, bro. Nothing, nothing, nothing. Give me something, please. 3 netherite bars and not a single Gilded Blackstone. Dead. Okay, saved. Yeah, come on, and then there's nothing in there, dude. Hey, yo! Here's just a fortress in the treasure bastion. Imagine you're just a blaze, walking around in your or I guess flying around in your fortress, and this is your balcony. Bro, this looks sick as hell. Alright, what do we got? Oh, okay, yep, Gilded Blackstone, some netherite ingot, and okay, more netherite stuff. So the current status, we farmed a little over 6 stacks in around 2 hours. That's pretty good, actually. I built something bigger. Bro, I'm really gonna die here. Dude, look how quick that just happened. I just landed there and boom. Have hearts, totem pop. Whoa, 2 OP gaps? Okay. What? Wait a second, I didn't even know that could happen. 2 OP gaps in 1 chest, in a treasure bastion. That's cool as hell. I don't think I've ever had that before. Okay, we're back from our Gilded Blackstone farm, and we're gonna put our haul into the box and hope it's enough. 87 stacks and 23. We've done it. Gilded Blackstone is finished, and now all that's left is the items from the remaining farms we built. All we have to do is turn them on, wait, and then we're done. Then the entire warehouse behind me should be completely full. Then we can finally begin building the city after more than 3 months. Alright, so this here is our farming district, which you should know by now. And we've also been adding a couple more farms here in the past few weeks. You can already see back there, all those guys back there are gonna get activated now. This thing is a bamboo farm, and a pretty good one for that matter. This is a bamboo farm that runs on bone meal, a lot of bone meal. So the bamboo gets bone mealed, simply gets destroyed over and over again, then it goes into the water stream, and the crafters automatically craft the bamboo into blocks. So this bamboo farm needs a lot of bone meal. The bamboo farm needs 180,000 bone meal per hour. That's over 100 shulker boxes full of bone meal. And the good thing is, we have this moss farm built by Gamify, just right up there. And here you can see all these things are getting produced and sorted here, but especially bone meal. And everything in here is absolutely full of bone meal, bruh. Should be enough to get all the bamboo we need. We need a total of about 2 million individual bamboos. Now we're gonna activate the farm. Bone meal is in there with this lever. Okay, it's actually pretty simple. I find it's pretty cool that the crafters actually come into play right here. We're also making the blocks right away, so I think we need to leave the thing on for about 2, 3, or maybe 4 hours. Then we should have enough. The second farm we're going to be activating is this beautiful sugarcane farm. We've actually had this farm for quite a while. I actually haven't been here myself before. If you're wondering why we're starting a sugarcane farm now, it has nothing to do with the gunpowder farm for rockets or anything like that. We actually need 18,000 bookshelves, and you need paper to craft those too. Farms like these are actually my favorites. It's so satisfying, just look at it. Things just driving back and forth all the time, collecting everything with a hopper minecarts. Then it stores them in the shulkers and then the storage right here. And now I'd say we can go to the third farm we're going to turn on, and that's all the way back there. That thing over there is an ice farm. 3, 2, 1. Ice farm is activated. Here you can see these flying machines that are pushing the ice forward, and then there's an account here which breaks down the ice with the silk touch axe, and then it lands in these barrels directly into the shulkers, just like all the farms. We need a total of 2.4 million ice, which is the equivalent of 1.3 thousand shulker boxes full of regular ice, and we also have to recraft them at the end. So the recrafting might take a while even after this thing is finished. It'll probably take a few days anyway until we have all the ice, but the thing is on now, and it's only a matter of time. In the meantime, Not Real Crafter also built an azalea leaf farm, and then we turned that one on as well. By the way, we need the farm for 85,000 azalea leaves. We finally activated the wool farm and the netherwood farm. We actually had to wait for the wood farm because of the bone meal, but that's no longer necessary since Gamify built a moss farm. Now we just have to wait until the farms have produced enough, and then we can start with the last farm, the large wood farm. Now, it did take quite a while, but we're finally here at the wood farm, and you can see the wood farm is activated, and generally it's actually the last of the farms that are still running. All the other items are already in storage. We've recrafted and sorted them over the last few days, and now we really just need to get all the wood here one by one. The whole thing here is a pretty large structure, as you can see, made out of various farms, similar to the clay farm over there. This farm will ensure that we get all of the wood items, and we also need the wheat for all the packed mud. So there's also a wheat farm somewhere around here. Don't ask me where it is. I don't have no idea. Anyway, the problem here is that we can only produce one type of wood at a time, so it could take another day or two while this thing is up and running. The majority of all this wood actually also needs to be debarked. For example, we need 66,000 pieces of debarked spruce wood. And I can also show you something real quick. This machine here is actually a debarker for all kinds of wood. So you can see the spruce wood being debarked. We got 2 accounts for that. The one's placing it, the one's debarking it with an axe. It's getting XP here so that the axe never runs out. Explodes it with TNT, and after that, the finished chokers end up in this chest. And our stripped oak wood is already finished. I can actually take that with me. So there's not that much left to do. Every now and then I just just stored a little bit of wood into the storage area. And here you can see there are lots and lots of trapdoors. They need to oxidize, and I think they're actually already finished. Yeah, they're done. Oxidized copper trapdoors. Perfect. We can actually take them with us right away. They also need to go into the warehouse. That's another of those items you just do on the side. It just has to oxidize. So, oxidized copper trapdoors are done. Alright. Now we're just missing all the other wood items and all the packed mud stuff and mud bricks and stuff. Not much really happened over the next 2 days. We mostly just had to wait for the wood farm, but then, once they had produced the last wood items, we were finally able to sort the remaining items into the warehouse and start building the city. And we're done with that as well. And not just with the dark oak fence, but with the entire warehouse. Here you can see, I can open every crate here. Everything is full. Every single item, over 5 million different blocks, and everything is full. Now imagine we built this storage behind me 68 days ago, and now we're done. Now we can start building the city. We're going to be using the Light Medica mod for this, like I said before. I spent over 4 hours scanning all the houses individually, 480 of them. And we can see them here in this menu. You can see that there are 8 different styles, and in all of the subfolders we now have the individual categories, 10, 15, 20, and 30. Then we can just pick out the schematics again and again, for example, just this one. And then you can see, here we have the hologram of the house we designed earlier. Then you can go into layer mode, and can build up layer by layer, piece by piece. So now I think we should just do it like this. We'll take an empty shulker. This can go. Or maybe even 2 empty shulkers, or maybe even 3. And then we can fill these shulkers with all the items we need to build the house. You can also even check that in the mod, so the mod is really incredibly useful. But yeah, let's start building the houses. Each player can choose themselves a marker here, and then we'll just build all the normal houses first. What size should I start out with? I think I'll start with the largest house size, so 30 by 30. Alright, this house is what I'm gonna start building now. So the first item I'm gonna need is 3,700 white concrete, so the item we have the most of. And we can see right away that our shulkers probably won't be enough. So I guess I'll gather all the items and then we'll see each other when we get started with the house, because I think it's gonna take a while. Oh my god, just 2 more items! Bam, and withered skeleton head. We got it. Bro, I wanted 3 shulkers at the beginning, but now I need 21 shulkers to get all the items for the house. Nice, we can do something with that. We also just found another cool mod that will also make the whole thing a little bit easier. For example, I'm looking for a mangrove log up here. Then I can just click on this magnifying glass and type in mangrove, and then the location of the item is just going to be highlighted up there. It really comes in handy. We've been using it, which made it go a little bit quicker, but even though I'm finding the thing so quickly, it still took me over 2 hours to pick out all the items. But at least we can now start building the house. Yeah, a few are already being built, and the first one up there is already finished. It's actually pretty cool. That house is already finished. This is the first house that has been completed, and it's actually also the very first house that we built on the build server. Now it's here in survival. Cool. Yo, I'm done. I did it. The first 30 by 30 house is finished. This one house took me 4 hours. One single house. A couple of others have also been completed in the meantime, but I did it. 4 hours. After that, you might think it will take months at this pace, but it's quite the contrary. Over time, we found our way around the storage better and better, became faster overall, and the motivation of all the players was really palpable as we completed the first house style after just 2 days. Every single house here has been built, the first 70, 80 houses, and yeah, didn't even take that long, only in 2 days. Yesterday and today. I actually really thought it would take longer. So like I said, I wasn't quite sure what kind of deal this is gonna be, whether it'll be a 2-week thing or like a 2-month kind of deal. But as things stand right now, it might be a 2-week thing. So if we keep going like this, we really might make it with these 8 styles in 16 days. And that would be really crazy. That would be super fast. And what you might have noticed is that we have these little placeholders here where there's also going to be a house. It's a 30 by 30 marker, and we have 3 of them in total. There's one here by the regular houses. Where we're going now, we have something like that up ahead as well, and we have another one right there at the back. And these crosses mark the special houses we're building in the city. We won't just be building residential buildings, we'll also be building special houses, and we've pre-designed 3 specifically for this purpose. And for those, we're gonna have a casino, a grocery store that we're gonna build among the regular houses, and even a small castle. And we'll build that at the very end. That's why these crosses are still there. That's for the end. Now we're gonna move on with the build of all the underwater houses, which we're gonna continue building clockwise. Before we do that though, we're gonna take a short break and take care of something completely different, something that has absolutely nothing to do with the city. And I'm talking about our netherite beacon. This is, for those who don't know, who may not have noticed, we have the largest netherite beacon in all of Minecraft in this world, and that guy's not even in our base yet. It's also gonna get its own room in the base later on, and it's gonna go into one of these side rooms down here at the end portal. So we're gonna set it up here real quick so we have it here in the base, because we've been wanting to do this for quite a while. And we're there. This is the place I was talking about. This is our treasure chamber, the one we built at the very beginning when we just started out this world. And inside, once we go in there, you'll be able to see a netherite beacon. And this is the largest netherite beacon in all of Minecraft, the one we've just had laying around here. And we're now bringing it into our base. After a year of it standing here, as you see, it's gonna take ages. The beacon's made of over 3,000 netherite blocks, and now we're just gonna dismantle it and place it in our base exactly as it is. Alright, cool. So we got that done. At some point, a huge treasure chamber will be built here, which will hopefully look pretty cool. It just kind of looks a bit puny in this room because it's just so much bigger. And, well, we'll now move on to the next style. We also made good progress again over the next few days, and we're able to maintain the pace of just under 2 days per style. And during all that time, the construction didn't even turn monotonous at all, because it was so satisfying to see all the markings fill up bit by bit, and there was always variety with all the completely new color combinations. And then, after a surprisingly short time, we finally put up the last houses and we're actually finished with all of them. The last block! It has been done. Every single house has been placed in a record time of 11 days. Just slightly over 11 days. That's just crazy. I mean, yeah, we're still talking about 11 days, which is over a week, almost 2 in fact, but bro, for 673 different houses, that's extremely crazy. Bro, just take a look at that. It's just intense. Even when you're looking at the building in the middle, it just looks so much more awesome because these buildings are already big. I mean, if you're standing in front of it now, I mean, they aren't really small houses, but then there's a base building there. It just looks so surreal. And now that all the houses are finally in place, we can take care of all the other things that would be essential in a city. While a few other players are busy building the special houses like the supermarket, the casino, and the castle, we're now building things like the ground, the streets, paths, and lanterns, thus reaching the final phase of this project. But before we can start with all the roads and stuff, we first need to take care of all of these markings we set down before. We need to get them all out of here. And for the roads, I think it would be best, well, we'll have to try it out. I'm thinking about using a relatively neutral block, because I'd really like to create a street that runs throughout all the different styles, so that it looks rather consistent throughout. I think the best ones would be stone and andesite. I think we're gonna go with those two. Alright, here's some stone. Alright, there's a little bit left here. I don't think stone is going to be that big of a problem. Andesite would be handy, of course, if we had that too. Have anything else here? Oh yeah, we still got some of them. Okay, good. Alright, well, so I guess if we still have both of those here, then we can do a quick test. So, just place it on top here, and I'm gonna do the whole thing in a slightly alternating pattern. Alright, now let's see. This is what it would look like if we used a stone andesite mix. I don't think that looks that bad at all. It also makes the texture much more pronounced. I can actually see that street fitting pretty well. The only thing I do gotta say is that it does seem a bit empty. If there was like a pattern on the street, I mean, what's also being added, what we shouldn't forget, is that there will also be lanterns that will illuminate the whole thing. So there's gonna be lanterns on the left and right all the way out. So we're still gonna do that. Oh, it's just gonna take a while to build it up everywhere. And once we built it, there's no going back. But I think it's good. It should be fine. Once we finished building all the streets, we continued by building the walls of the elevated areas and then all of the roads leading to them. The roads are finished. We've also finished all the walls on the raised areas. Everything's super clean, and we've already built the roads that lead up to them. I gotta say, it does look pretty impressive. But yeah, with that, we've officially finished the road, and we're now able to finally focus on what will probably make one of the biggest differences, that being the areas beneath the houses. So here, the actual ground on which all the houses stand, currently they're still all floating, and I would do it in such a way that we continually adapt them to the houses. So for the desert house, we could use sand. Here for the normal ones, we could use grass blocks, and that would be the next thing on our list. But before we do that, let's quickly build up a level on all of these quartz lines. Since we still had a lot of dirt in stock, we were able to fill in all the areas where grass just needed to grow now. For the underwater area, we also had enough gravel left. We started by filling in all the areas very simply with a single block, and then we'll add a bit more texture and more details later. Oh, those are the last ones? Yo! All of the ground areas of our city have been built. Did the grass actually spread here yet? Okay, no, still needs to spread a little bit. So the grass still needs to grow, but we're actually already finished with all of the base areas. The grass still needs to spread in the jungle. In fact, there's actually even a jungle biome here. So the grass actually even has the right color here for the jungle houses. The snow is also finished. In fact, a couple of small patches of ice have already been added to the snow as well. I think Leon did it. So slowly but surely, the city is finally reaching its final level. Apart from the paths between the individual houses, there's not much left to do, and we'll start with all the patches right away. But first, we're gonna take time for a few small quality improvements, like adding a bit of calcite and diorite to the texture in the quartz wall, and also texturing the surfaces of the underwater section, the jungle section, and the pore section. And now, the big question remains, which block should we use to make all of these paths? For a second, what I thought was that we could just use normal path blocks here, like just taking a shovel, doing this. But that's more like a village, I think. Maybe it doesn't really fit to a city. But in general, all the paths are going to be different in different styles. That means here in the desert, we're going to use something different for the path, something that blends a bit better with the sand. Let's try out some gravel for a second, see what it looks like. Yeah? Well, I guess it would be quite similar to the other paths, though. I mean, we have it at the underwater houses, too. They're also made with gravel, but I guess that gravel actually works. What if we don't just use gravel, but a bit of cobblestone as well? Yeah, I think that's good. Alright, fine. Then let's do it like that. Then we're gonna use all the gravel first and start building all these paths here to connect all the houses. We can put a path down here, which can also meet there too. And we'll build it in such a way that we have a couple of different intersections everywhere. So later on, we're also gonna put some lampposts everywhere where the paths are right now. I think it's gonna look pretty cool. Now, I'm pretty curious to see what effect the paths will have when they're done everywhere. Alright guys, what I'm about to tell you, you probably won't believe me, but this is really messed up. I'm gonna make it quick, take a look for yourself. The city's gone. You simply can't imagine how I'm feeling right now. Now, you're probably wondering, how is that possible? Just like me and the others a few weeks ago. Back then, while we were building the farm and still filling the warehouse here, we switched servers and we got set back 3 months because we somehow didn't have a backup since then. Bro, guys, I really can't tell you how that was even possible, but it's all gone. The city no longer exists. The storage is halfway empty. We've been completely reset. We wanted to change the servers, but I mean, once again, we had server issues with the host. We thought, yeah, of course we have backups, but the backups weren't saved and, well, they're somehow gone. I don't really know, but I can tell you one thing, there was nothing we didn't try. This is the last version we had saved. 3 months of work down the drain. I just truly felt completely broken, and I still do. It's just messed up. It's just insane that that happened. I actually didn't even want to make this video right after it happened. I was just like, nah, just stop everything and just let it be. And I'm not gonna play any SMP at all, at least for now. But I've been thinking about it the last week, and then I just remembered that you guys got pranked! Oh my god, bro. That's so awesome. I'm so sorry, guys. I just had to. Of course, it's not the SMP server. This is just a backup from 3 months ago. A world save, not the SMP. I just had to do it. I'm really sorry. Yo. Just imagine, bro. Now, the real reason why it's been another 2 weeks again is because the city is actually finished. You can see it, the paths have been built, lampposts have been built, and many other things that you haven't even seen yet. We've been at it for the last 2 weeks now, and I've barely recorded anything during that time. I'd say we'll just go ahead and do a big tour, and I can show y'all everything that's been added in the last 2 weeks. A couple of things have actually been added. And you also haven't even seen the special houses yet, and I'd say we can actually start there. This one is our supermarket. Everything's actually fully decorated inside, including all the shopping carts and everything. And you can see here are lots of golden carrots on the shelves, because this actually is a golden carrot store. Well, you can't trade the golden carrots at the checkout, but the supermarket actually has a little secret. There is a tiny little hiding place in this shop where you actually could trade golden carrots. And that is right up there, behind the O. You can just fly through it because it's all just maps, just gray maps. Then you can see here are lots and lots of villagers. All of them are trading golden carrots. There's some emeralds here, and then you can trade them. It's basically like a small black market up here. Pretty convenient. So that even makes our store functional. And then of course, not to be overlooked, we built a lot of lanterns as well. Some larger ones here and also a small kind. Both versions have a daylight sensor on top, so that means they'll both activate as soon as night falls. We've added lots and lots of grass to the ground. All the paths were built. And what's most noticeable and makes the biggest difference, I think, are the trees. We built these custom birch trees everywhere in the traditional style, and I think they look really beautiful. They just make it all look so peaceful and orderly. I love these trees. They even got a few frog lights in them so they glow when night falls. And rocks. We put down some rocks as well. And of those, we even made small ones and big ones. And this rock isn't particularly popular with most SMP players. Y'all can tell me what you think. I think it's cool. And we have a sheep. Hey, now let's move on over here. Not much happened over here. Of course, the pathways are everywhere too. We also made small bodies of water everywhere, and we put a little seaweed in them too. And also a couple of rocks everywhere, made out of prismarine. I think it's pretty neat. It's definitely got a lot busier, but we'll see that in every style from now on. So everything has become noticeably a lot more crowded. We really made sure everything looks presentable. Oh yeah, of course. And the castle. We can go in there as well. It's pretty elegant inside with the gold and red, and also a throne, but the throne isn't for me, and generally there's also a reason for this whole castle, why we built it. Maybe you can also remember a few months ago, actually almost a year even, during the time we built all the biomes all around the base. Actually, when we built the swamp biome more specifically, we had to go into a real swamp, and from there I brought a little friend with me who's actually still waiting in my ender chest. And most of you probably won't know him, but I mean this guy, Hopper the tadpole, and this castle was actually built for him. And when I brought him back from the swamp, I actually promised that he would have this place in the mega base. And now he's even getting his own castle here. And when he's a frog, he'll be able to sit on his throne. Right now he's just a tadpole and can only hop. But now he's gonna have plenty of time to grow. He even has his own private pond here. And there he's gonna be able to grow in peace, and when he's fully grown, he won't be Hopper anymore, but King Hopper, and then I'll put him on his throne. Yeah, but I think it's pretty cool to have another little landmark like this one in the city. But then we can move on to the next style. Down here in the port compartment, we also added a couple more things. Here we also added some rocks made of mud, and there are animals here too. Damn, animals spawning everywhere. There are pigs here. That checks out. Of course, we got the pathways here, a bit of grass is on the floor again everywhere, and we also have a special building in this compartment that you haven't seen yet, and that is this casino. Beautifully decorated with these gold accents, also a glowing sign, and a chandelier at the entrance. And perhaps some people are wondering why this is in the poor part of the city. All the people from these houses were simply gambling too much in the casino, and now they're all poor. Yeah, and now the casino is pretty rich, as you can see. The interior is also fully decorated, of course. We have a pool table, we have a bar, we have a card table, and we have a staircase leading upstairs. Here in the casino, you can actually really gamble using this roulette table. Then we can move on to the magic part of town, and here we have some new crystals. We also have large mushrooms. The paths are made of crying obsidian, which glow with shaders. We're gonna take another look at that, and a couple of skulk sensors as well. So then we enter the snow biome, and fittingly, there's also a bit of snow lying along the path left and right, as if someone shoveled it out. Then we have some snow-covered fir trees everywhere, and I think that's actually it. There's nothing really else here, but it's also considerably busier. And the jungle is even more crowded, because we have lots and lots of bamboo on the ground everywhere here, and a whole lot of trees scattered everywhere. In Nether, we built the paths out of magma blocks. I know it's not practical, but I thought it looked cool, and it does look cool, especially with the shaders. All those mushrooms and such, and a couple of little lava pools with a bit of magma too. And of course the trees. Alright, so the last part of town we have is the desert part. And here we made the paths out of red sand. We have lots of cacti everywhere, and dead brush. And that's actually about it. There's nothing else here. And with that, we've gone all the way around and looked at the whole city. And this is it, the finished final city. And this city is the first thing in our base that's really big, but also super rich in detail as well. And I'm really extremely proud of it. So I'd say we can finally take another look at the entire city with the shaders on. You just have to see it for yourself. Bro, shaders are so magical. You build something in Minecraft that already looks crazy, then you turn on the shaders and it just blows you away. Bro, look at the nether part with all the lava and stuff. And this is the city during nighttime. I mean, that's also just completely bonkers, isn't it? And now you can actually see pretty good that the poor parts actually have very few lights. And that was intentional. I mean, they don't have electricity. They're poor. Dude, I mean, look at that. These paths really do look like magma blocks from above. Bro, that looks insane. And with that, another incredible project of ours comes to an end. By far our biggest project to date. Thank you so much for watching. It was truly an incredible project. We worked on it for 5 months. Soon things will continue on the SMP as well. And this time we're gonna build a completely new base in the Nether. So be sure to subscribe to the channel if you don't want to miss it. Now we got a few more shader shots, and this is our mega base city.